We are live. Thank you, Olivia. I'd like to call the Planning and Economic Development meeting to order. First item is approval of the minutes from 11/9 of '22. Looking for a motion.
I so move.
Second? Second. Thank you. Third item on the agenda is privilege of the floor. Do we have anyone to speak the privilege of the floor?
Yes, we do.
Great. Yes, please. Yes, I just need you to introduce yourself to the gallery and to the Facebook followers.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff Contino. I'm the president of the Snowmobile Clubs of Chautauqua County. We represent the 5 counties, or the 5 clubs within the county, and we maintain the over 450 miles of trails within the county. I'm here tonight because I'd like to bantered around with the state legislature, and since for about a year now, and it's gaining speed again, and we're trying to get resolutions from various counties, especially big snowmobiling counties, of which Chautauqua County is, to support it in resolution form. So with that, the members, or just a summary and then resolution, I should say. Just a little bit about what the New York State Snowmobile Association is. We're all volunteer organization which provides guidance and direction for the snowmobile clubs within Chautauqua County and throughout the New York State. What we're doing is we're proposing a New York State snowmobile registration fee increase, as there's a large funding gap between what the trail fund supplies to the snowmobile clubs and what our actual expenditures are on trail maintenance. With this proposed increase, if it does go through and gets into the New York State budget, it'll generate an additional $2 million to the trail fund, and of course lower that gap. If this fee registration $1 million trail grant that is fully funded by snowmobilers' registrations, that $2 million increase would represent approximately $119,000 additional dollars coming into Chautauqua County to help maintain our trail system. A well-maintained trail system is a safe trail system, and increase the tourism. We have a great trail system. We can keep it that way and improve it. It increases the economic engine that snowmobiling is within the county. Thank you.
All right.
I'd just like to ask a
Do you have any
question.
questions?
Jeff, what is the registration fee now?
It's right now it's $45 if you're a club member, and a New York State Snowmobile Association recognized club member. If you're not, it's $100.
And what are you asking, what are you asking for, and how much is the increase gonna be?
The out-of-state registration from out-of-state and non-club member from 100 to 125. 2 of our bigger clubs, Cherry Creek Snowgoers and Chautauqua Lake Snowmobile Association, or Snowmobile Club, have applied for grant, probably close to $400,000 in grant monies.
Is that something common, everybody applies every year? I would if I were you.
Yeah, I mean, some of our clubs have just recently became 501c3 nonprofit volunteer organizations, so that they can. That's almost imperative to getting these grants, and a couple of our clubs have just recently attained that status. So now,
at work, it's a significant for Chautauqua County. We know the importance of the snowmobile clubs in the trail programs within the county. We've heard that from the IDA in planning many times in front of this committee. So how do we collectively as a committee, 1, and 2, do we collectively as a committee support these minor increases?
Well, now that it's been presented, I would really kind of defer to maybe the legal department and maybe
Uh,
Pierre.
Mr. Chair, if I might, I believe that the legislature clerk is preparing a motion for legislator Penhallow to present to the legislature next Wednesday.
Okay, great.
A motion of support for this.
Motion of
Yeah,
support, okay.
that's correct, and I can add anybody else's name also to the motion. Okay. Okay.
There's your
Thank
answer.
you, thank you.
Surveyor manager at Greenman Peterson Inc. He's served on our board since 2011.
Thank you. I'm assuming these appointments are eager to,
I had the privilege of serving on that board with these individuals, very well qualified, very committed to volunteering their time, very knowledgeable. And so I would highly recommend these three individuals to be reappointed.
thank you, John.
Thank you for the background on these, that's very helpful.
Yes, it is. Okay, of the confirmation of appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Second resolution is we got to confirm appointments and reappointments for Chautauqua County Food Policy Council.
So we have two reappointments. One is Linnea Haskins. She did recently get married, so her previous appointment was under Linnea Carlson. She currently serves as the chairperson of the council, and she's the market director at the Jamestown Public Market. Our second reappointment is for Patricia Hammond. She's an economic development coordinator with the Northern Chautauqua County Community Foundation. Also on this resolution, we have 4 new appointments. These are to replace people who no longer are interested in serving and to fill, I believe, at least 1 vacancy. So we have Lacey Wilson, who is a nutrition and wellness director for the Chautauqua County Office of the Aging Services. Carrie Skellington.
A motion to amend the resolution to include,
To include Jessica Worstel.
okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to
I
amend?
make a motion?
I'll
Thank you,
second
John.
it.
Second it. Okay, all those in favor of the amended motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is there discussion on the motion that was presented? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Okay, the third resolution tonight is confirming reappointments to the county, or Chautauqua County Agriculture and Farmland Protection Bureau. Board.
So just 2 reappointments for this board. Our first is Lisa Kempesty. She's a community educator for dairy and livestock with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Chautauqua County. New York State Ag and Markets Law requires that we have 1 seat filled by an extension representative. And then Heather Woodis is a reappointment. She's classified as an active farmer. She's one of the owners at Country Air Farms, a multi-generational dairy farm in DeWittville. She's also very active with the Dairy Promotions Program.
And I'm assuming it's to amend the 2023 budget for snowmobile trail development and maintenance grant.
So, this resolution, we need to adjust our 2023 budget. In previous years, we had used previous years to estimate what our budget would be this year. In November, the state notified us that they made an additional $600,000 in funding available and had increased the mileage rate and the high snow rate, which resulted in $38,000 more coming to Chautauqua County. So we just need to adjust the budget so it will match our contracts accordingly.
Okay. Too many questions, committee, on the resolution? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Mayor, current trustee David Hazelton, who also is I know the mayor has a couple hands, as well as allotment of power to
Sure.
the village of Brockton residents. So with that said, if you have some forms, or
Yeah,
excuse
we
me,
do.
some
Yeah.
handouts, I can get those out for
If you
you.
guys can just reintroduce yourself for the gallery and for the...
Craig Miller, mayor from the village of Brockton, and this is Dave Hazelton, trustee, and he is also a former mayor. And taxpayers are gonna be on the hook here for a transformer. It's gonna be over $1 million, just guesstimating, probably. The one that we currently use is 60 years old. The life expectancy of them is 40 years. So we're on borrowed time now. And we're looking for guidance, help along the way here to get us in the right direction for some type of funding.
Have you folks looked into any funding
Um,
as a town or a village?
Not
have
as
you?
of yet, no. We just need direction.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes?
I asked the mayor to put some of this information together. And the reason being is, and I also asked Nate from IDA and planning to be here as well. And it gives Brockton, the village of Brockton, and their taxpayers and residents the opportunity to be recognized within Stock County. This is a concern that they have. And come to our committee to see what can we help from going forward from this meeting now, going forward, to see if there's anything that we're aware of, where we can give them some direction. And it is a local thing, but it's a local issue concern within the county. And I can only imagine that other municipalities will, for lack of a better term, a utility department where
We have-
basic,
We have one.
They have one.
lineman.
and so, Mayor, I would ask that you just go through just to feed this information after this meeting. And maybe what we'll do is I will lead some type of follow-up with yourself.
That would be appreciated.
So,
Super.
with that said, can you just give us a brief history, just some of the information that you have provided in this packet, just to highlight?
It is 60 years old, and like I said before, life expectancy is 40 years. We have another transformer that we're currently paying annually on. I think we still owe $200,000 on that.
Okay. Is that being passed on to the local residents for the village?
Yes.
Was there any anticipation of this back when it was purchased, that it was gonna be failing, or it would leave its life expectancy, and then you'd have to replace it? Is that something that was,
Yeah, we just
It was.
replaced one in 2010.
okay.
We
Because I,
we have been putting money aside
okay,
over the years for this replacement.
yeah. Yes, I can certainly understand. I don't know the exact, course, other than maybe speaking with with the IDA, to find out if they have any ideas, or where we could, like, find a fund, and by the legislature, I would imagine, so,
We would appreciate any help. It's just resources that I don't
Sure.
have
right,
access to,
right.
you know.
I heard that Nate has all the answers, by the way.
He looks like the answer guy.
How was the one that you're paying on right now, how was that funded? Was that through a bank ban or,
That was bonded, yes.
okay. And is that not an option for this one, or is there just,
Well,
It,
it is, but we
it
only have
is.
100 customers,
okay.
which, makes it very difficult.
Chairman,
Yes.
Mayor, what is 800 residential customers that pay? Okay, it's bonded, similar to putting, what is your concern with the reduction in allocation of reduced power?
Go through that allocation, the rate goes up, because you no longer have hydropower, now you're going into the higher cost. And with the state looking to make everything electric now, you can't put gas in a new home. They're talking about electric buses for schools. All of those things are gonna use our allocation very quickly. And it's also gonna put a strain on these transformers. So that's why we need to be ready as these things happen.
Specifically, Chairman, specifically within your village, so this is gonna become a issue for the city of Dunkirk, an issue for the city of Jamestown, the county collectively, and the state collectively. Have you to this point, David, have you at this point gone above your allocation in recent history or your knowledge?
Oh, yes.
Okay, oh,
Rates go up.
definitely. And so this is something taxpayers have been used to, and there's history with it. Okay,
Well, it goes into their rates, not into the tax.
right.
The biggest user is the school. Jamestown Plastics, Cal Graphite.
Are they billed at a higher rate, or do you try to get
Oh,
more
yeah,
money for
yep,
those folks?
Yep.
You do?
So
All right.
it affects everybody, every user.
Okay. Just curious, it was a certain percentage for everyone across the board, or
Everybody's rate goes up.
the businesses were hit with a little
Yep.
higher rate, so.
Chairman, I'm asked this question collectively to people here in the chambers. Are any of the other municipalities talking about this right now?
This is the
They're-
first that I've heard of it, John.
You know,
so-
the concerns, we know what's coming down the pike in terms of what New York State's gonna require each of the municipalities and us as individual residents and taxpayers in our own homes. Do we think we're going to, as a county, possibly get involved with the city of Jamestown since they're a utility? Or how are these large manufacturers going to cope with some of these things?
Well, I think with the increased demand of the, even the, private sector with new cars, they're really pushing hard for electric cars. It's gonna be a huge impact in every city, municipality, and town. I mean, it's gonna be huge, so I don't know how much thought's gone into it to this point, but I know it's a huge discussion, and we'll have to look at it going forward.
Right.
There's no question, so. As far as, help, I know John will be following up, I'm sure, what we need to do, or who we need to speak to try to
Okay.
get some answers and find out what we need to do
Okay, appreciate it.
as a legislature. All right.
Excellent.
Is there any other discussion with these folks?
And, excuse me, Chairman, I will reach out to Nate is here, and Nate and I've had a brief discussion, and I think maybe it'll be the next step, but I think we'll let some of this digest, and I'll follow up with the members of this committee, any ideas, brainstorming that they have.
Okay.
And then you and I will be in contact, whether phone or next board meeting or such.
Perfect.
But Nate, to put Nate on, Nate, do you have any thoughts or ideas briefly? You know, where we can at least get some direction and start something, you know, moving forward, positive steps forward.
As I told Mayor Miller at the start, we'd be happy to explore, research, grant opportunities. Nothing immediately comes to mind, but that's not to say that there's nothing that or something that we're not aware of, and we could also engage some of our consultants who are experts in this field. I did have one question I noticed just flipping through the packet. It looked like you've been working with O'Brien and Gear and Jeff Smith through Municipal Solutions. Have they offered any advice or?
We haven't been in contact with them lately on that, but that is another place to look into.
Sure, our department would be more than happy to explore and research various funding opportunities. To be honest, we're probably better suited in terms of water quality improvements, water sewer, grant funding, in terms of infrastructure resources through the state. But we can certainly do our homework and see if NYSERDA or any other agency offers any assistance.
Okay.
True. Thanks, Dave, for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other discussion on the committee? Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, that will conclude the adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, we're
Yeah.
good.